and shoot all day long. He's a little bit taller than your traditional guard, 6'3", so he can shoot over the top of defenders as Zack Coleman answers back right in St. Armor's face.
It's a big play by Coleman. You don't really think of him as a shooter, and he hits a nice three early on.
Yeah, and St. Amour is going to be guarded by Zack Coleman, and it's going to be a good matchup as they're both around the same height, about same body type, so it's going to be a good physical matchup for the both of them.
As Daly puts it up, and it is good. A nice, strong finish by Jack Daly.
Yeah, the defensive breakdown there was kind of a two-way street. Patron has to have a better on-ball defense, but Middleton has to see that quicker and slide over.
As now Middleton gets it to Patron, who had such a great season last year. It ended a little early as he puts up the tough layup. No good as Ian Howard puts it right back up. And Plattsburgh just can't seem to get into the basket on that one.
Yeah, this has been their problem all year long is, you know, you have the opportunities, you have to finish them.
As Daly hits front rim on that one, as now Eli Bryant looks to get it down on the other end of the court. Now he will slow things down, and Plattsburgh will look to reset this possession.
I mean, teams that are 20-3, they capitalize on those shots. Teams that are 11-11 miss those shots. The little bunny shots, the ones that are around the paint, around the block area.
As St. Amour gets it and one, a beautiful finish and a great feed from his teammate, as now he's a chance to tie it if he hits this free throw. But back to what you were saying, 20-3 is a phenomenal record overall. And looking at Plattsburgh's team this year, 11-11, it's just something that you're not used to seeing, as they were the #1 ranked team in the SUNYAC, and they got an NCAA tournament bid last season, and it's shocking to see the downfall of this season.
Right, and this has been a team, it's been a year that going in the preseason polls, they were highly touted for, especially in the SUNYACs, and we knew that they lost a couple of big players. One is actually sitting on the bench in a shirt and tie right now, and Kyle Richardson. But they did lose a few good players, but they also had a pretty good recruiting class coming in, so a little bit surprising to see the woes that they've experienced so far, but don't expect them to stay down for too many more years because, as we've already said, they're young, big recruiting class, a lot of seniors graduated before, and they'll be back to their prime form soon.
As the nice pass is down low, missed by McCord, as now Plattsburgh will look to get it down on the other end. Jonathan Patron puts it up, as there will be a foul called against Middlebury, as it will send Jonathan Patron to the line for two. Already 3 fouls, just over 3 minutes gone by in this first half. Definitely something you want to watch out for, as free throws can come back to haunt you in the end.
Yeah, and Middlebury is kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage because they don't have a lot of players on the bench and active. You know, if a couple of them get in early foul trouble, we could see that they might have some issues playing some of their role players for a lot of minutes, and that's where Plattsburgh can kind of attack and take advantage of.
As Patron hits the second free throw, going 1 of 2 from the line. Plattsburgh with a 1-point lead with 16:45 remaining here in the first half. Memorial Hall.
Yeah, Middlebury only has 11 players dressed, so if a couple of them get in foul trouble early, one, they're going to get tired, and two, they're going to have to play their deep bench.
Eli Bryant thought about driving in, but decided better of it as now Plattsburgh will look to reset. Zack Coleman, the third-year player, had a phenomenal first year with Plattsburgh, and his second year wasn't as good as he would have hoped, taking over the starting point guard role. Now he's fallen back with Eli Bryant taking over most of the possessions.
Yeah, it was a good move by Jonathan Patron, knowing that he had the advantage there, had good positioning, and Patron's so fundamentally sound that it's hard to guard him without fouling and hard to stop him just by playing good defense. Sometimes you even have to double him up. And, you know, he's not a tall player. He's not, you know, physically just outstanding, but he just has great fundamental footwork.
He lost a lot of weight in the offseason, which could be attributed to his new style of play, becoming more of a shooter this season as Plattsburgh turns it over, as now Middlebury put up the layup, and it is good for Jones.
I think transition buckets are going to be a big factor in today's game, especially with Middlebury not having a deep bench. You're going to try to run and gun and see if you can tire him out, and also you can't turn the ball over just like Chris Middleton did right there.
Plattsburgh has too many turnovers early on. That's already their third turnover in this game. Middlebury has made them pay on pretty much all of their turnovers. As here's Jones, gets it at the top, good defense by Plattsburgh as the pass is down low. There was a jersey tugged by Eli Bryant. Nothing was called as the three is put up off the front rim, rebounded by Middlebury. They can't seem to find it home as now Chris Middleton will bring it down on the other end. Here's Patron bodying down low in the post move. The one-handed shot is no good. Plattsburgh struggling to find any sort of rhythm right now. And one! That is Santa Moore. That is Jack Daly, who's off to a very good start in this game.
Yeah, Plattsburgh really struggling in the transition defense. A lot of times Middlebury is beating them down the floor, and in that case, they're trying to foul before the shot, but instead they're giving them an and-one opportunity.
Now it looks like Plattsburgh will go, both teams will go for a new look as now Brandon Johnson's getting his first action of the game, subbing in for Zack Coleman, and along with Middlebury bringing in Naughton and Majors. And Folger, excuse me.
You know, quite frankly, Plattsburgh should never get beat in a track meet. Whenever a game gets sped up, Plattsburgh should always have the advantage. They are an extremely quick team. So you have to wonder, getting beat in transition like that on your defensive side, is it laziness? Is it, are you just not focused, or what's the deal? Because this team is extremely quick.
As that pass is off the hands of Isaiah Hill, as now Daly will drive in, who puts it up with the left, and it is good. Jack Daly is off to a phenomenal start, leading the team in scoring, leading both teams with 7 points. Eli Bryant doesn't want to use the screen from Howard as now Plattsburgh will look to reset just over 5 minutes gone by in the first half as Middleton puts up the three. No good. Rebounded by Naughton. As Naughton comes down on the other end and he puts up the three and no good as Johnson will look to bring things down on the other end. It's not a big guy. He almost got called for a travel, almost tripped over himself on that one.
Yeah, watch out for the lines on the court. They can always come up on you.
Eli Bryant from deep as it goes over the backboard and will go out of bounds as Eli Bryant maybe was just a step or two too deep for himself.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of a flat shot. He didn't get his elbow underneath it and get a good flick of his wrist, and instead it came out as a line drive right at the rim. Didn't give it really a chance to fall once it hit the rim.
As now Plattsburgh is down 15-9 with 13:50 remaining. As Middlebury is on a 7-0 run as they get the three-pointer to roll in. That is what I call a 2K roll. As now they are on a 10-0 run. Plattsburgh has got to find something.
Yeah, one thing they got to do on defense is cut down those three-point attempts. Those are wide open three-point attempts from a good three-point shooting team.
Here's Isaiah Hill, puts up the one-handed shot, not even close, doesn't even hit rim on that one. Plattsburgh has not been able to find a rhythm from anyone on their team as another three is hit by Middlebury as that will be Naughton with his second three of the game, and Plattsburgh will call a timeout with 13-17 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, Coach Curl is really struggling with his team right now, trying to keep his composure in front. Three-point opportunity after three-point opportunity, and it's wearing him down right now. If I'm playing man-to-man defense against this Middlebury squad and I'm the Plattsburgh State Cardinals, I am challenging them to take me on the dribble because this team, this Plattsburgh State Cardinal team, is much more athletic than what the Middlebury Panthers are putting on the court right now. The Plattsburgh State Cardinals have to challenge them, have to say, hey, if you're going to score, you're going to beat me by getting to the rim. Because what do you have when Middlebury tries to attack to the rim? You have a 6'7" Isaiah Hill. You have a 6'7" Majestic Grigg. You have shot blockers. You have athleticism inside. Instead, Middlebury's beating them from three-point attempt because they don't have to drive. They get too much room around the three-point arc.
This is definitely a scenario where Plattsburgh has got to be missing Eric Mack. His first year as a junior in Plattsburgh. He's a junior year, but it's his first year playing for the Cardinals. He injured himself just a few games ago and still not have seen him back, and it's got to be haunting them right now. People have compared him to Xavier Thomas, who was one of our favorite players to watch in Plattsburgh's history. As now the ball somehow does not get stolen. Ill-advised pass by Johnson as now Patron puts up the righty shot, and it is good. Jonathan Patron finally gets Plattsburgh to score some points.
Yeah, he's clearing room down low by using his elbows, effectively, not swinging them crazy and picking up fouls or a technical foul, but using them to try to clear space, and that's all he needs to get that shot off, and he's very dominant with that hook.
As the three is put up, no good. So we'll go out of bounds, and Plattsburgh will take over.
You know, they missed that shot that time, but once again, it's a wide open three from the three-point arc where Plattsburgh's nowhere to be found to contest it. This is just something's got to change here.
10-point lead for Middlebury. Plattsburgh is passing the ball a lot, as it seems to be feeding Patron as he kicks the ball out to Bryan, who puts up the three. No good. Isaiah Hill with the strong rebound, puts it right back up, and it is good.
Yeah, you said that. Strong play. That was all strength right there. He was out of position, getting boxed out, still was able to pull down that rebound with one arm and go up strong and get that layup.
Middlebury's had a few empty possessions in a row, but like you said, they've been getting the open shot. Just Plattsburgh's defense has still got to step it up because they're going to hit that shot sooner or later. Good move as Daly puts it up, and there will be a foul on the floor as the basket will not count. Looks like the foul will be against Isaiah Hill. Plattsburgh's third team foul.
Yeah, I think Plattsburgh got bailed out there on that foul because it looked like it was in a shooting motion to me. Instead, fresh shot clock and an easy layup attempt with a foul by Isaiah Hill.
Now it's like Hill will pick up his second foul in 10 seconds or so he'll probably be seeing the bench pretty soon. This will be Adisa Majors, the junior from New York, New York, as he hits his first free throw.
Yeah, one thing that's sticking out in my mind right now for Middlebury is it's, you know, a lot of scoring, high-powered scoring, but balanced scoring right now. You have Sam Moore, who has 6, Daly has 7, Naughton has 6. So that's 3 people putting up high amounts of output in the first part of this first half of play.
As now Plattsburgh will get a new look, subbing out Isaiah Hill and bringing in Adam Jaquish, the freshman from Mariah.
So a little bit of a local product here for Jaquish. Always has some fans here in the crowd rooting him on.
As this one will go against Plattsburgh, it looks like it would be an offensive foul on Jonathan Patron. That is his first foul. Luckily, that's just his first foul because we've seen many times Patron pick up early fouls and being subbed out for most of the half, and that's definitely something that you want to look out for if you're Jonathan Patron. 11:15 remaining here in the first half. Plattsburgh playing some tight defense, a lot of good screens and passes by Middlebury. Coach Curl wanted to travel on that one, as did not get the call with just 10 seconds on the shot clock, as that will be a travel, the call that Curl was looking for just 10 seconds earlier on Joey Layden.
Yeah, Layden really protesting that call, gave him the evil eyes there as he's going back on defense. Hey, I say it all the time. I've never seen a player actually agree with a travel call, especially one like that. But at some point, you just got to accept it, go back on defense, and get ready to stop the ball.
You're definitely right on that one. Players never agree with the refs, even if it's completely the right call. As we saw in the NBA, was Russell Westbrook took 6 steps on one play. He still seemed surprised when the ref called that one.
Well, I mean, because what's a travel in the NBA? That's a made-up rule.
As here's Johnson who kicks it to Patron, a beautiful feed by Johnson. That's some passing that Plattsburgh has been waiting for Johnson to make this season.
Yeah, driving to the rim, knowing that the defender's going to come help side and knowing that Patron's going to be right there. And it's good awareness by Patron to get in good position as he gets the rebound right here.
Another big rebound for Patron. And now Eli Bryant will kick it out to Johnson, who will drive in. A nice pass, but it goes off the fingertips of Jaquish. Just a little bit too hard for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough pass. You would like to see Jaquish catch that ball. You know, very good athletes will catch that ball, but that pass did have some zip on it.
10 minutes gone by, with 10 minutes remaining in the first half, as this will be a offensive foul as Plattsburgh will take over. This one will be on Adisa Majors, his first foul. As Layden hits the bench, bringing back in Brian Jones. five for Plattsburgh are Johnson, Jaquish, Bryant, Coleman, and Jonathan Patron. Patron coming off his best performance of his Plattsburgh career, going with 36 points against Potsdam. Zack Coleman from mid-range, his front rim. Numerous shots we've seen from Plattsburgh hit front rim this game.
Yeah, they missed that one, but that's a good shot. That's a good move. A little jab step, getting the defense off them and pulling up mid-range. Utilize that shot more because that's a very easy, or not very easy, it's a very makeable shot, and it's good in the flow of their offense.
As now there will be looks like it will be another foul as will be on Jaquish. Now Plattsburgh has 6 fouls already. They started off the game pretty well with only 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes, but now they already have 6, and they're 1 away of sending Middlebury to the free throw line for 1-and-1 free throws.
Yeah, with an off-ball foul like that, I have to assume it's a moving screen violation that is on Jaquish, also a forward, so that would make sense.
As there's a late foul called on Patron, as he thought he got all ball on that one. Definitely questionable call as he's angry. As we've seen Patron lose his temper a few times, picking up some technical fouls, and this is definitely something that he does not want to do in this game.
Yeah, that was a little unnecessary there. I don't know if we caught on the cameras there, the Patron slamming the ball down, then putting his foot on it. A little unnecessary there. It is 1 foul here. I mean, that is picking up his 2nd. And I know it's been a rough year for the Cardinals, but you can't have lapses of discipline like that. Because that's a technical foul. He gets 2 more shots. They get the ball back. They hit a 3, and then all of a sudden, that's a 5-point swing.
As the fans tried to disrupt that shot, did not seem to phase Majors. 11-point lead for Middlebury, as it seems like this lead has been around 8 to 11 points for the last 5 minutes or so, as Plattsburgh has not been able to gain any ground. Now Eli Bryant will get the ball back at the top. Quick passes by Plattsburgh is now Johnson for the 3 in the corner, and it is good. Brandon Johnson.
If they can string some 3-point attempts like that and get back in the ballgame with a couple of stops, it's still in striking distance here, but I do have that feeling that Middlebury is close to just blowing the game open because Plattsburgh's not a good comeback team.
As the shot by Majors is no good. Almost comes up with his own rebound. It looks like there will be a foul called against Jaquish, as he cannot believe it. No one on Plattsburgh can, especially Coach Curl, who always seems to be yelling at the officials.
Yeah, he's very boisterous in his 14th season as the Cardinals head coach. He's always been very animated. He runs up and down the sidelines, and he never stops coaching. That's one thing I really like about him. Whether it's a blowout and his team's winning, or a blowout when his team's losing, or if it's a 2-point ball game, Coach Curl always continues to coach, and it's one thing that I kind of admire him about. A lot of coaches will sit on the bench during a blowout, just let the clock run out. That's not Tom Curl.
He's definitely a coach that the players love to play for. He loves all of his teammates, and he's definitely well respected around the SUNYACs.
And we're going to get an inbounds here by number 10, Zack Coleman. Zack Coleman's the junior guard. He's a 6'2" guard from Putnam Valley, New York. And he's been the leader for this team for the past year, and then in this year. He would like to see some better success as Eli Bryant shoots and swishes the 3 from downtown.
And now it's just a 5-point deficit. Plattsburgh trying to get back into it as it's blocked. But put right back up by Eric McCord.
Yeah, and that's how you kind of silence the crowd after a big shot. Go bear down and score once again.
Coleman gets it out to Jaquish. He's trying to find something as Plattsburgh got some sloppy play right now, but it's a nice pass down low as Middleton cannot finish that one.
Yeah, a lot of contact when he was met at the rim. And no rebound here for Plattsburgh.
There will be a blocking foul called against Plattsburgh. It looks like it might go on Jaquish. That's already his 3rd foul of the half, and there's still over 7 minutes gone. He's got to be hitting the bench pretty soon if Tom Curl.
Yeah, and I thought he got there at time. I thought that he had good positioning to take that charge. Maybe his heels were in the restricted area as the restricted arc or area that has been brought out another foot from last year. It's a rule change for this season, so it's kind of a different feeling you have to get used to when you're someone who likes to take charges inside.
You're looking over on the sidelines, and you still see Coach Curl yelling about all of these calls as he feels like nothing is going Plattsburgh's way with the officials.
Yeah, with Adam Jaquish at 6'7" and Byron Jones at 6'1", I think if I'm Coach Curl, I would like to see Jaquish go up and contest that shot. Go try to get a block, try to get something that swings the momentum in the right. Because right now, especially after that turnover, there's not much working for the Cards, facing a 9-point differential in the first half of play.
Someone that we'll be waiting to see get onto the court is Owen Mitchell. It's his senior year here in Plattsburgh as he's finally found his groove for Plattsburgh as the shot is no good, rebounded by Eli Bryant. So we'll get back to Owen Mitchell in just a second as Bryant puts it up. No, he gets it to Brandon Johnson, who puts up the bank shot, and it's good.
Wow, nice, fundamental play there. Nice fundamental shot by Brandon Johnson going to the bank shot. And a lot of players don't utilize that, but it's a nice, swift shot. He went up, and it was a great play on both sides.
As it's rebounded by Middleton off the miss by McCord. Should have had no problem with that one as he was going up against a much shorter Ian Howard. Chris Middleton for three. No good. Rebounded by Tarantino.
And pass deflected off. Zack Coleman almost got that steal for that pass that was was targeted for Byron Jones.
As now the Panthers will take a timeout with 6:15 remaining in the first half. A 30-23 lead for Middlebury.
Yeah, Plattsburgh definitely been undermatched so far. Outplayed. This Middlebury team is clearly, their starting five is clearly better than the Plattsburgh starting five. But one thing to look for, and I've said it multiple times so far, is that Middlebury is only supporting a lineup that has 11 players on it. So, Plattsburgh might fall down early, but if they can turn this into a track meet, get them tired, or get the Panthers tired, that could really play into the hands of the Cardinals, who have a pretty deep team and a pretty deep bench.
As Tim Smith will be coming onto the court after this timeout, as he has finally been catching some playing time this season. They're not getting too much in his first 2 years at Plattsburgh. But like I was trying to say before with Owen Mitchell, he's leading the SUNYACs in three-point percentage. He's one of the best. Maybe he had this all in him all along. Maybe he learned from Ed Correa over the years, the best shooter that we've ever seen. But you got to know when he's going to get on this court, you got to watch out for him in the corner. That's his spot.
Yeah, the thing about him is he's instant offense as well. I mean, he's a 6'4" senior from Potsdam, New York. But when he steps onto the floor, when he gets his opportunities, he makes the most of them. And that's one thing that Coach Curl will really utilize him here in today's game, is they have to make up 7 points here. Or they have a differential of 7 points right now with 6:15 remaining in the first half, with an inbounds here to Middlebury.
Now here's Tarantino getting it over to St. Amour. Gets the pass down low over the top, and it is no good. An easy layup not finished by Middlebury.
Yeah, and the Aussie finds himself in the stat column already, 5 seconds onto the floor?
It's not a very good shot right there by Eli Bryant. It was offline.
And the thing about that shot is, as the pass is thrown away there by the Panthers, the thing about that last Eli Bryant shot is you can get that shot anytime in your possession. There's no need to take that when you have 20 seconds on the shot clock and you have an opportunity to kind of, try to find a better shot. Taking a fadeaway three-pointer at that so early in the shot clock, I think is kind of a sin of basketball.
Eli Bryant was trying to do too much on that play, like you were saying. A lot of quick passes by Plattsburgh, but Middlebury's got help defense all around as Plattsburgh cannot find a groove at all.
Yeah, kind of a pressure 2-3 zone here. And now moving into a 3-2 zone.
As the shot by Johnson is no good, as he had an open Tim Smith but decided not to pass. As now Daly will get it across the court. As the pass goes between the legs of the referee, showing his inner dodgeball skills.
And all that needed right there was a fundamental pass. There's no need to try to be fancy with it and do a no-look, whatever the heck that was. I mean, just a nice fundamental chest pass finds the open shooter in the three-point arc, and more often than not, the way the Panthers have been shooting, that's 3 points for your team.
It's almost stolen as Howard puts it right back up. No good. Rebounded by Tarantino. Daly, nice behind the back move, but he goes off of his own leg as now he will look to slow things down with 4:40 remaining. Good help defense, but they left the man wide open, Tarantino.
And it's always seemed like Plattsburgh on their defensive possessions, they do a few things right and then one thing really, really wrong. That's where the Panthers are trying to find that one mistake that they make every single possession, and that's what's costing them right now.
As now Eli Bryant with 10 seconds left on the shot clock gets it to Johnson with a beautiful move. Excuse me, Howard, as that's tipped in right by Chris Middleton.
That's all right. I always get Howard and Johnson mixed up as well. They look very similar. They have very similar styles of plays. Just strong, compact play, quick but smart.
And both very athletic. As the three is put up on the other end, and it is good for Sana Moore. Silences the Plattsburgh crowd yet again with another three. As Tim Smith puts one back on the other end, it's no good as that one might have been a little bit forced.
Yeah, a little bit forced, but when you're a bench player, I mean, sometimes you do have the tendency to come off the bench trying to stroke that three and get yourself some more minutes on the floor as Middlebury comes down, sinks another shot. 37-35 with a timeout on the floor by Coach Tom Curl. And Plattsburgh once again finds himself in a deep hole.
12-point lead for Middlebury. It's the largest lead of the game as Plattsburgh has just not been able to find any sort of groove. They got a basket on their last possession, but they've been having a lot of passes and trying to open things up. But Middlebury is definitely strong with their defense. As the leading scorers in this game are Sana Moore and Daly, both with 9 points. And on the Plattsburgh side, it will be Jonathan Patron and Brandon Johnson with 5. Johnson is not someone that you normally see leading the team in scoring.
And the PA announcer going off about how the Plattsburgh school is going to try to do some sort of promotional activity, try to get the Today Show weather host Al Roker to come to the school. Kind of a pretty cool opportunity. Plattsburgh students are going to try to put that on at halftime here. And then for the women's game, another promotional event here tonight. As you see the pink shirts in the crowd, they'll play for K game by the women's team. So that's one thing to look out for there. I know I wore my pink. You must not have gotten the memo.
I ran out of pink in the closet, so I got to pick one up. Pick up a nice shirt or a tie at some point. As the beautiful finish by Chris Middleton. Just over 3 minutes remaining, Plattsburgh gets it to another 10-point deficit.
Yeah, and I'd like to see them at this with 3 minutes left to go, try to cut this deficit in half. Get it to a 5-point deficit going into the second half of play, and then from there, just continue to chip away at it and eventually tie it up or take the lead.
Right. Now, Eli Bryant will start it off at the top. Plattsburgh trying to get a groove going. As he throws up the lob, and it is good, but it will be an offensive foul called against Plattsburgh.
It's been a moving screen or a push. Yeah, there's a little bit more than a screen there. It was kind of clearing him out of the zone with a forearm to try to get that dunk off, and Coach Curl is just not having his way with the refs right now. Every little thing that the Cardinals have done wrong, the refs are right on it there.
That would have been a huge play for Plattsburgh if those points counted. We don't see many dunks anymore for this team as Xavier Thomas, we saw that exact play run by him so many times throughout the years.
Yeah, especially with Eric Mack not on the bench for the Cardinals, or excuse me, not dressed to play for the Cardinals. It's, you know, that goes a huge chunk of their athleticism.
Just over 2 minutes remaining. Here's Jones looking to get it down low as he gets it to Majors, who puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Howard. Eli Bryant puts up the tough three. Not even close. Rebounded by Majors.
Yeah, that's just a forced shot, and Coach Curl cannot be happy about that, especially when nobody gets back on defense and Middlebury picks up another easy basket in transition.
Now Coach Curl is definitely letting Bryant get an earful on this one as he cannot believe the shot he put up.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much time on the shot clock still. And that's one thing that's mind-boggling. It's not that they're trying to run offense and nothing's working. Middlebury is playing just such tough defense. It's the fact that they still have 20 seconds on the shot clock. They still have opportunities to run a motion offense. Instead, they're settling for deep three-pointers and fadeaways that aren't even hitting the rim. It has to be very frustrating for the coaching staff and for the whole team that when shots aren't falling, but it's self-inflicted pain when you're taking shots with 22, 25 seconds left on the shot clock that are, questionable at best.
As you're Plattsburgh, you gotta maybe think about stop shooting so many threes. They're just 3 of 12 in this first half from beyond the arc. So maybe go down low. Got a quick pass we saw early on as maybe not. Another three is put up by Johnson. No good. Rebounded by Middleton, who puts up the layup, and it is good.
Yeah, when you're a team that lives and dies by the three, it's hard to kind of get away from that game plan. You try to keep shooting, hoping that something falls. But right now, they might want to go and take a page out of your book and attack the rim.
Beautiful play as the tough layup is put up, no good. Tipped off the hands of Plattsburgh as Middlebury will take over.
Yeah, that's a tough play there. It was the right pass there for Eli Bryant, but with the speed of Johnson streaking down the floor, he caught that pass around the free throw line, or free throw line extended, and he just couldn't slow himself down in time to make a quick layup opportunity.
As Jones is swatted by Chris Middleton, as now Zack Coleman will drive down the other end and puts up the layup, and it is good. Beautiful finish by Zack Coleman with just 50 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, now get a stop here and then go for a 2-for-1 opportunity, make that bucket, and it's a new ball game here.
As the three is put up by Jones, no good, gets his own rebound. As it's stolen right back by Ian Howard, who's had a strong defensive start. As now Bryant puts up the tough right-handed layup, no good. There'll be a foul called against Middlebury, and Plattsburgh will keep possession.
Yeah, see what he was trying to do there with trying to take that quick shot, and hopefully it falls for them, and then they can get the ball back because Middlebury can't run out the shot clock on a final shot opportunity. But with 2 seconds left, it looks like Plattsburgh is going to try to dwindle the game clock as far as possible and not get Middlebury a chance to bring it back the other way.
Looks like you are absolutely right with that one, as Eli Bryant was just getting the ball to the top, dribbling it out with 25 seconds left on the game clock and 20 on the shot clock.
Yeah, because they dwindle the shot clock all the way down. It only gives Middlebury a chance. To take the ball the other way for 2-point-something seconds left.
And it's not like the NBA where the shot clock stops. It continues to roll throughout, as there's going to be a foul called against Plattsburgh, as this one looks like it will go. Oh, it's going on. It's going on Jack Daly of the Panthers. Plattsburgh thought it was on them as they all started to walk back on the other end of the court.
And with Eli Bryant stepping to the line, just a reminder that at halftime, we're going to have a halftime show coming up here on PSTV, so stay tuned for that. Don't touch the dial as Middlebury gets the rebound.
And now Middlebury kicks it to the corner as Jones puts up the three. No good, as that will do it for the first half here at Memorial Hall. Middlebury Panthers leading Plattsburgh State Cardinals 39-33 as Plattsburgh has just gotten the lead just down to 6 points. Like you said, they wanted to get to 5, but 6 will do for now.
Yeah, that's close. I mean, it's a 2-possession ball game. That's all you can ask for, really. Plattsburgh, they haven't played very well, but they're still in the ball game. And that's one huge thing that a positive that they can look forward to.
And that will wrap it up here for the first half, but don't forget to stay tuned for the halftime show with PSTV. I'm Nick Demersion.
I'm Tyler Clemens. Stay tuned here on PSTV.
About 10 minutes left in halftime. So in about 5 minutes, we'll get our airplanes ready and shoot them towards center court. Also, Cardinal fans, it's time to show your love for the game and support our student athletes. We're asking all of the fans to participate in our first ever Game On for Giving Day by supporting your favorite Cardinal team. 100% of your gift goes directly to the team or teams that you select. Your gift makes a difference no matter how much the amount. It's all about participation. So get in the game and give back by visiting www.alumni.plattsburgh.edu/gameon. We are just 75 donors short of our goal, so 75 more donors, and we'll meet our goal of 500. Also,
good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Plattsburgh State Men's Basketball Halftime Report. I'm Morgan Ruger.
And I'm Judy Ramellion, and tonight you see Plattsburgh State Cardinals going against Middlebury's basketball team.
All right, so after the first half, Judy, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I think tonight you can tell that Plattsburgh is the team with an 11-11 record, and Middlebury is the team with 20-3. What do you think?
Yeah, correct about that, and I see that tonight's an intense game. So what do you think exactly, who did you think stood out within the first half of the game?
Well, I think Middlebury College definitely came out as the more dominant team tonight. I think they challenged Plattsburgh a lot with their perimeter play. You saw many players on Middlebury's College like St. Amour and Naughton. Both of them had multiple three-point shots. So they really the Cardinals need to guard the perimeter better. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that they need to continue to keep it up and, keep going for those shots, because that was one problem that we did have within the first, half of the game. You can say, like, the first quarter, we saw a lot that, the Cardinals were trying to shoot and they just weren't making it. They were trying to hit the three-pointers, trying to hit, those two-pointers as well, and they just weren't making it.
I agree with you there. I think both teams have had a little bit of an off-night shooting. Middlebury came out very explosive, as I mentioned, and towards the beginning of the first half, they were on a 10-0 run against Plattsburgh. And that was not only with the perimeter play, but it was because of their transition. They had really high-paced, fast breaks and were able to get up the court past all of the Cardinal players.
That's good, that's good. So I know you saw that one of the star players, Jonathan, I believe his name is, JP. He's also known as JP. He was making a lot of shots in the game. And we did see that when Plattsburgh was down by, I believe, 10 points, he was able to bring them back up. How do you feel about that?
I agree. I think one of Plattsburgh's biggest strengths is obviously JP. But moreover, their balanced scoring. They've had multiple players be in almost double-digit scoring range. All of them have come out ready to play, and when they get that ball moving, when they have good ball movement around the perimeter and even inside, you see great things happen. We have Brandon Johnson, who is almost in double digits, Chris Middleton, Isaiah Hill, Ian Howard. All of them, when they really work together as one unit, they do something really great. So they need to focus on that going forward into the second half.
That's good. I also noticed that Plattsburgh did manage to catch up to Middlebury, but we did see that they were fouling a lot. Mm-hmm. Within about 15 minutes left in the game, they already had 6 fouls. And this is definitely a disadvantage to them, and that's something that they need to fix in order to, win throughout the game. So what else do you think that they can improve?
I think it's just better team communication, and I think that really goes for both ends. Both teams got in foul trouble pretty early. They were already in shooting. They already had over 7. So both teams need better communication. They need to play a little bit cleaner. I know some of the calls were a little bit controversial tonight, but from what I saw, as I think our announcer saw as well, there really wasn't super clean play on the defensive end. So that's something both teams, I think, can work on, and especially Plattsburgh now being down still, and they're going to need to catch up somewhere. So
yeah, definitely. We saw towards, the end of the halftime that Plattsburgh was down by 6. So in order for them to pick it up within, the first, I guess, 10 minutes of the second half of the game, they need to at least hit 2 3-pointers or, 3 2-pointers. So they need to definitely pick it up with the defense, the shooting, and everything to, be able to win the game.
I agree. And like you were saying earlier, it's definitely a fast-paced game. Both of these teams really, they came to play tonight, even though I do think, like I've said, that Middlebury was the more dominant team.
Right.
I think I've seen good energy from both of the teams tonight, so that's something they're really going to have to keep up. I think rebounding will be another really big thing going forward. Hustle for those rebounds. You saw that a couple times.
Right.
They were fighting for the ball under the basket, and a couple of close calls where they almost got rebounds, almost got steals. So they're really going to have to, both teams, keep up that intensity moving forward.
That's really good. I think that, they do have potential to win this game. They just have to keep it up and, keep that mindset that even though they are down by 6 is nothing compared to, 30. So they can definitely pick it up between, the last half of the game, and they have potential.
Exactly. I definitely agree with you there. We've seen that it has been an intense game, and we've also seen this trend through Plattsburgh going on throughout the season. They started their season with a string of losses, but they've been able to come back since, and they've come back from being down a little bit. So 6 will be nothing for these boys, and hopefully they can pick it up and, hopefully pull out a win tonight.
That's good. That's good. And, later on tonight, we will definitely see our women's basketball team go against them as well. So we're hoping for, 2 wins tonight.
Yep, that's going to be another really, really great game between both of those teams. Again, I think it's going to be like this one. Fast pace, high intensity. We'll have to see. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is just coming out a little bit more intense and clean. There were also, I think, something we may have overlooked a little bit, some turnovers, too, for both teams, especially Plattsburgh in that first half. I saw 4 almost right off the bat, so something to look going forward.
Yes, definitely. So what else do you think that they can improve?
Well, I think, like I said, team communication, cleaner rebounds, cleaner play in general, and definitely working together more as a unit, getting ahead. Defense is going to make or break them because, as we've seen, Middlebury, even though they haven't had the best percentage of shooting tonight, they're getting the open shots. So it's really, really imperative that Plattsburgh picks it up and plays strong defense the rest of this match.
Yeah, I think that that's one of our, biggest struggles is that we need to pick it up with the defense and, take the ball and bring it back to our side. And as we all know, the basketball court, they switch sides for the second half of the game. So hopefully we're hoping that, with them having the other hoop, they can probably pick it up this game. They might just be their side.
Hopefully. Now,
Yeah.
Based on what you've seen tonight, who do you think is going to have the better second half?
I think Plattsburgh definitely has it in to have the better second half. This is their court, this is their home, so, and this is also their audience. So hopefully they'll be able to pick it up for the second half of the game and just be able to win it tonight.
That's true, and I know a lot of Plattsburgh State students are actually at the game right now.
Right.
Have you heard about the contest for to get Al Roker here
No, not at
on
all.
campus? So for our viewers who don't know, there's a contest going on right now. So I know the school has tried to really put out, advertising, I'd say, for this game to get kids here and cheering on their school, which is always great. So I agree with you there. They do have the home court advantage.
Right.
And they have the audience advantage.
They have the cheerleaders and they also have Jedi dancers tonight that will be performing for the game.
Yeah, so we have a lot of fun stuff planned, and I think they'll be there too for the women's match after, as we've
Right.
mentioned.
So we're definitely hoping that, with the audience being it's their home court, they'll be able to keep it up and, possibly win for the game tonight.
All right, and I think we have covered it just about all here. So do you want to place our final bets for who we think is going to be taking home the win tonight?
Definitely. I'm definitely thinking that Plattsburgh will win it tonight. What about you?
I'm hoping Plattsburgh, of course. I'm a little biased, but I think they'd really have to step up their game, and based on the momentum I've seen, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say Middlebury.
Alrighty. So we're hoping that, the game will be great tonight and maybe or maybe not, they might go into overtime, but
Hopefully. I'd
Yeah.
like to see an OT game. I'd like to see them come back and have a really strong finish. Well, that is all that we have for you tonight, but make sure you stick around to watch the end of this Plattsburgh game and stick around after to watch the ladies play.
thank you for tuning in with us.
Welcome back to Memorial Hall as we are getting ready for the second half matchup between the Middlebury Panthers and the Plattsburgh State Cardinals. I'm all jumbled up with my words right now as Middlebury's leading 39-33 after one half, led by Jack Daly and St. Amor.
Yeah, then on the Plattsburgh side, we're being led by number 2, Chris Middleton, who has 8 points, and then a string of 5s where Patron has 5, Coleman has 5, and Johnson has 5. The other scorers of the ball game will be Ian Howard, who has 3 points, and Isaiah Hill, who had a good rebound and putback. Now for his only buckets in the first half, he has 2 points in the ball game.
Plattsburgh is not used to being the underdog for the past few years. This game, they went in as the underdog. They're down by 6 at half. If you're Coach Curl, what are you telling your team to pump them up?
Well, right now, you know, when you're a player, you know when you're facing a team that is better than you, that you just aren't matching up well against. Right now, everyone on the bench realizes that. Everyone on the bench realizes that Plattsburgh is being outplayed and is the worst team compared to Middlebury. But, you know, when you have the advantage that Plattsburgh does, 1, athleticism, 2, deep bench. You can work that. You can use that against Middlebury. Make this a track meet. Make them have long defensive possessions. You keep the ball in offense for a long time. Make them work, and then slowly get yourself back in the ball game once they're getting tired.
As we are underway. And here is a nice pass down low. Plattsburgh got some tight defense. Sarantino puts up the layup, and that is just too easy for Nick Tarantino. Now Bryant will look to bring it down on the other end. 8-point lead for Middlebury. Bryant guarded by Jones, had a Poor shooting performance in the first half as Jonathan Patron's three is no good. Plattsburgh still seems to find the lid on the basket under that one. Good fake as a foul will be on the floor and the basket will not count for Middlebury.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a shove there down low on by the Middlebury player that was number 32 on the roster. Excuse me, Eric McCord.
As the layup is put up, no good, rebounded by Plattsburgh, as now Eli Bryant will slow things down and gets it to Zack Coleman. Thought about the baseline shot, decides better of it. As Patron drives in, puts up the tough layup, no good. As Ian Howard gets it to Chris Middleton, who is fouled hard and will be heading to the free throw line for two. Great play by Ian Howard to control that rebound and get it to the teammate.
Yeah, and that's a good foul there by Eric McCord. He only has 2 fouls in the ball game, so now, go up and contest that shot. You might block it, but at least make sure that he has to earn them from the free throw line.
As Jonathan Patron's going to have to be careful also, as he just picked up his 3rd foul on the Middlebury possession. 2 more and he's done for the day.
Yeah, and that would really hurt the Plattsburgh State Cardinals, as he's their instant offense guy.
As Middlebury misses the second, going 1 of 2 from the line. This is Plattsburgh's last home game of the season, and the layup is good for St. Amour, but it's looking like it might be a disappointing end unless of a whole lot of places fall into place for Plattsburgh.
Yeah, right, a little bittersweet here, and they're only down by 9 points, but just the fact of the way that they are getting beat with a huge and one opportunity bucket here by Jonathan Patron, but the way they're getting outplayed right now, just they don't have that mojo, that momentum, that that swagger that the Cardinals usually have. Right now, the bench looks dead. When they're on the floor, they aren't having that same amount of as I'll say it again, swagger that they usually have.
As Patron converts the 3-point plays, Plattsburgh's going to start the half off with a press. So Middlebury's going to have to get it over the top as they do. A good pass across to St. Amour for 3, and it is good. That can be a problem if the Plattsburgh continues to press like that, getting the open man down the court.
Yeah, and I understand the need to try to switch things up and maybe get a quick turnover there with the press, but I don't think it's going to work against this Panthers team. They're way too disciplined, as Middleton hits that 3-pointer there to answer back, but the Middlebury's way too disciplined right now. They don't turn the ball over, and 3-pointers are the best taken in transition.
Good backdoor pass as it's put up, and it is good for St. Amour. He just does not seem to miss this game. Back to an 8-point lead for Middlebury as Bryant uses the screen. Thought about driving and decides to kick it to Jonathan Patron at the top. Here's Ian Howard who puts it up, the quick layup, and there will be a foul called against Middlebury, as that will be the 3rd team foul of the half.
And free throws right now are going to be the Cardinals' friends. Get those opportunities to get to the rim, maybe get an and one opportunity, but if you can't finish, at least you're putting up points when the clock's not running.
As the first free throw is no good, as Majors for Middlebury comes back in for McCord. We've seen it before. Plattsburgh, when they don't hit their free throws, they struggle to win games. And when they are on, they normally win those games. So these are big free throws that are coming up.
Yeah, and it's a bigger problem than just missing free throws now. They're just not making shots, period. And, when you're a 3-point shooting team and you're not hitting those shots, it's tough to get out of that game plan. And this is a team right now that's living and dying by the 3-point ball.
As now here is Tarantino at the top. As he gets the ball off his teammate, saves it and kicks it back out to the top with 10 seconds left. And Tarantino for 3, no good, rebounded by Patron. Almost a travel on Patron. Fans wanted it for Middlebury, as they seem to have a pretty big attendance here in Plattsburgh.
Yeah, Middlebury's really not that far away. That's why they schedule this non-conference game. It's just on the other side of Vermont, so.
That was a beautiful spin move by Patron. Got the fans hyped, got his bench hyped, This could be a turning point for Plattsburgh if they can get a nice defensive stop right here, as the reverse layup is put right back up by St. Amour. And every single time that Plattsburgh hits a nice bucket, St. Amour comes back on the other end and shushes the crowd.
Yeah, that's not a bad defensive possession. That's a tough play, a reverse layup that, when he was going full stride, couldn't slow down and set himself. That's a good defensive play, possession, but you just have to credit Middlebury for having that opportunity to convert that play.
As there was a great block by Tarantino, as Patron went back to the spin move, almost worked, but Tarantino was just too tall for that one. 16:20 remaining here in the game. Plattsburgh will be looking to make a sub with the next dead ball, as Tarantino puts up the easy bank shot, and it is good. Plattsburgh's got to play some more physical defense. Not too physical, they don't want to foul, but got to be more physical, as this will be a timeout taken by Plattsburgh State with 16:05, as they are down by 10 in the second half. A full timeout.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see yourself down by double digits in the second half in trying to work your way back, especially against the number 10 team in the nation, and a team that's been very disciplined so far. They're doing a great job of holding onto the ball and having opportunities to get to the basket and convert easy shots, easy layups, wide open three-pointers. Also, Middlebury's not turning the ball over. They only have 7 turnovers compared to 9 for Plattsburgh.
Very true. Very good point right there, but you got to look at St. Amour. He's got 9 points this half. He had 9 all of the first half. He already has 9 in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Plattsburgh's got to do something to stop him. He's shooting 70% from the field, and looks unstoppable.
Yeah, and one big takeaway, one big glaring fault in Plattsburgh's game so far is fast break points. They're not getting out and running in transition when they are obviously the more athletic team. Plattsburgh has always had very fast, very strong teams that can get out, make this a track meet, but they're losing in fast break points, 13-6. They have a deficit in that category. So there's a lot of things that Coach Curl can kind of tweak, and maybe we'll see some changes here. Another huge thing is that Plattsburgh's only shooting 44% from the free throw line.
Most of the time, you're not going to win games if you're shooting 44% from the free throw line. Now Jonathan Patron finds himself on the bench. Do you agree with the move with 3 fouls?
I mean, it's a judgment call. I really don't think there's a good or a bad answer to that. I mean, at this point, yeah, maybe you want to rest him up so he's fully charged, ready to go for this final part of the game, and there's going to be a blocking call on the floor, as Coleman thought he had a clean swat at the rim, but it's going to be called on number 0, Ian Howard.
It was definitely great defensive play by Coleman, and the foul wasn't called on him. I don't know if he thought it was at first, but it was a great defensive play. The official said that it was a blocking foul on Howard, like you mentioned, as the first free throw is sunk by St. Amour. He goes 2 of 2 from the line. Already at 20 points.
Yeah, just being so dominant. And the thing about it is he's playing within his means. He's not forcing shots like we see on the Plattsburgh side. He's just taking what the defense is giving him and converting on his opportunities.
Poor pass by Howard, as this is a leading pass for Daly. Puts it up, and it is good. Now Middlebury seems to be sailing away from this game with a 14-point lead. Still plenty of time as a lot of quick passes by Plattsburgh. Eli Bryant thought about the 3, decides against it. Isaiah Hill loses the ball, but it goes to Zack Coleman, and 1. Zack Coleman, great hustle play. I don't even know how he made that one go in.
Yeah, and that's what Plattsburgh really needed right now. Something, anything to kind of bring the momentum on their side. Big one opportunity, makes his free throw, get a couple stops, and now from there they're starting to get the train rolling on the tracks a little bit.
15:03 remaining. Zack Coleman attempting his first free throw attempt of the day. He's been one of Plattsburgh's best shooters of today's game, as he's shooting 75%, leading the way in field goal percentage. 11-point lead for Middlebury. Double team by Plattsburgh. Good pass to Majors, who puts it up, and Majors hits the layup.
Yeah, this Plattsburgh just isn't doing enough on defense right now to slow down this Panther offense. It's just so smooth, and the cuts and the passes are always just on point here for the Panthers.
Nice move by Patron, a strong move. As the pass is over the top to St. Amour, who steps out of bounds, and Plattsburgh will take over.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that move there by Patron, despite that uncharacteristic turnover there by the Panthers. Patron, strong move down low, but he uses that arm to push off a lot of times, and sometimes it does come back to haunt him. Sometimes that it does. He does pick up fouls there, and those are fouls that he can't really afford to take.
Such a physical player. It's so hard for him. So he puts up another one, and it is good. Jonathan Patron, and one goes for the three-point play. Plattsburgh cuts it to a single-digit deficit.
And once again, he used that arm, that elbow to kind of create some room. And it's fine if the refs aren't going to call it, but if sometimes you get a ref that keys onto one thing and he just watches out for that one thing more so than others. And if a ref ever wants to key on that push-off, Patron's number one move is already taken out of the book.
Now Jones will look to slow things down, getting it back to the top. As we just saw Patron miss another free throw, as the tough three is put up, and it is good. This is unbelievable shooting by St. Amour. Reminds me of another number 11 that always seems to eat up Plattsburgh, and Brian Sartino for Oswego.
Oh, why would you say that name right now? He haunts this team, the Plattsburgh State Cardinals.
This is definitely a performance that we've seen before by number 11, though. You got to give credit to him as he is just on fire as Majors hits the mid-range shot. Every time Plattsburgh seems to make a slow push back, Middlebury just comes right back up and ends their momentum. Now Johnson looks to get it down low, decides better of it. Zack Coleman drives in, pass is tipped, stolen by St. Amour. Daly with a nice behind-the-back pass, as it's off the foot of Zack Coleman. It'll be a kickball, and that will stop the clock for a second, as now Middlebury will bring back Liam Naughton for Brian Jones.
Yeah, and one thing about Middlebury that has gone pretty understated by us, at least, is the coaching by Jeff Brown, the former Vermont Catamount, in his 20th season here at the helm of coaching the Panthers. He's been doing a great job mixing up defenses and putting up some new sets on offense. And good coach teams are the teams that go 20-3 and are ranked top 10 in the nation. You can have the best players all you want, but they're only going to do so much if they don't have good coaching.
Jack Daly just hits a beautiful move on Plattsburgh. Is now to 16-point deficit, now the largest of the game. Here's Jonathan Patron. Gets it to Zack Coleman, gives the screen right to Coleman. As it's turned over, as now St. Amour will put it up. Thought about the dunk, but decides better of it and just goes with a nice finger roll layup.
Oh, I think he wanted the dunk, but he didn't get a good lift off on his 2-foot jump there. And his teammates are giving him, yelling at him as he gets back on defense, playing around with him. I guess it's easy to kind of joke around when you're ahead by so much here.
As now this will be tipped off the hands of Majors, who cannot believe it. He's arguing with the official. We just saw the deficit go from 9 to 18 in a matter of 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was quick.
And Plattsburgh's not going to get back into this game with fadeaway shots like that by Eli Bryant.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're making them at a pretty consistent rate, but Bryant, I think, is 0 for 3 on fadeaway three-point attempts.
As Majors puts up the tough shot, no good. Stolen by Brandon Johnson, who looks to bring it down and puts up the finger roll, no good. Rebounded by Jaquish as it's stolen right back by Middlebury. It's tipped out of bounds. Looks like one of the assistant coaches for Plattsburgh. I don't know if a head coach Curl.
Yeah, Jaquish only had one option after getting that rebound off balance like that. He had to just wing it out there and hope someone was going to catch it, but unfortunately threw it right to a Middlebury Panther, and that's kind of indicative of how the night has gone for the Panthers, for the Cardinals at this point.
As now here is St. Amour, uses the screen from Folger as the layup is good. for Folger.
And right now, it's just Plattsburgh can't get a stop. I mean, this offense from Middlebury is relentless, and it's not like they're making these wild trick shots. They ran offense to a T to the point where it makes you think maybe Plattsburgh's defense is, subpar.
As that was Plattsburgh's first points in the past few minutes, as Middlebury was on an 11-0 run. Plattsburgh now down by 18 with 11:13 remaining here in the half. So Middlebury just has exploded with offenses. They were struggling to hit shots early on in the first half, but now they're hitting all of their shots and running away with this game.
So yeah, Coach Curl's going to be talking to his team right now, trying to draw something up. My number one question here for Coach Curl is, if he's talking to his team, is, why are we here right now? We're here to win a game. You have to start playing like it. You have to start, wanting it more than Middlebury does right now, because Middlebury right now is taking the second half, and it's been all them right for the opening inbounds. So Coach Curl's going to be drawing up a play, as we just saw a replay of that huge Zack Coleman and one opportunity off the loose ball. That's the type of things that Zack Coleman can do. He's a leader on the floor and off the floor, really. But he's the one who does all the dirty work, and he gets rewarded with those easy buckets.
Plattsburgh's been able to control themselves with the foul trouble. They've only had 2 fouls this half. They had 2 early on, but they've been composed lately, as it's still just 2, as Middlebury has 5 fouls in this half, as they got to watch out, as Plattsburgh will almost be put in the bonus with just 2 fouls away. As here's the 3 by Folger. No good. Rebounded by Jaquish, who will look to slow things down, getting it back to Johnson. As now Middleton thought about the 3, decides better of it, as he is fouled on the drive in. As this will be the 6th team foul on Middlebury, as they got to be careful from now on.
Yeah, the one thing that stands out here, I guess you can't really say the one thing, because there are plenty of things that are standing out here for the Panthers, is their efficiency ratings. Efficiency is kind of an algorithm between points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, and then they all take, all that in consideration, how much the team totals are. Right now, Daly has a 28 rating, and St. Amour has a 26 rating. Nobody on Plattsburgh has higher than a 15.
As Patron just got called for another foul. That'll be his 4th. And like you were saying the whole time before, it was working out for him, his shove. He gets called for it on that one.
And the referee has to call a timeout for himself and lace him up.
I feel like every single broadcast me and you do, there's got to be some talk about some shoes or tying your shoes. It's been a while. It's our first broadcast of the semester, but every single game.
I'm a man who likes his shoes. Right now, I every time at the start of the game, I always got to look around who's got the best ones. And for Plattsburgh, I have to say it's probably Brandon Johnson. I like Isaiah Hills as well. But the only thing is, I'm not a fan of the low-cut sneakers that you can easily roll your ankle, as Brandon Johnson, with his fresh kicks, goes to the rim, and he's going to get fouled.
Back to the whole shoe discussion. Ed Correa always
had the best shoes.
Always had the bright yellow shoes, stood out among everyone. Even if every single one of his teammates was wearing red, you knew he was wearing those yellow ones. As it looks like Jonathan Patron will be coming back into the game after taking 1 possession off. Coach Curl must think that he needs Patron in this game if he has any chance of coming back.
Yeah, just sit him down, get his composure back, get an assistant coach in his ear and say, hey, 1 more foul, you're done. So play smart and get him right back out on the floor. He's that valuable to this Plattsburgh State Cardinals team.
Now Johnson goes for the 2nd free throw, and he swishes that one after missing the first. Plattsburgh still struggling from the free throw line. It's not looking like they've been practicing the free throw line too much. Practicing their free throws, excuse me. As a tough 3 is put up. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. As Jonathan Patron almost got called for his 5th foul, but it was against Brandon Johnson on that one. As it's pushed out of the way. That's a dirty play by Folger going for the ball, pushing Brandon Johnson out of the way.
Yeah, these types of fouls there on Middlebury, that's going to send Plattsburgh to the line. And, it's a huge differential right now, but you do those ticky-tack fouls, and Plattsburgh gets to the line, gets to shoot free throws. They put points on the board with the clock not running. Lucky for Middlebury, Plattsburgh just can't make any free throws at this point. Embarrassing from the line, a 46% free throw percentage.
As Folger's three is offline, as now Chris Middleton gets it to the top as Brandon Johnson for three. No good, rebounded by Folger. Patron had some contact on that one, almost got called for another foul. So here's Jack Daly, puts it up, and he is fouled. Looks like it's going to be against Chris Middleton, who does not agree with the call.
And I spoke too soon on that last part when I was talking about the free throw percentage. They didn't update the numbers here. 42.9 is what Plattsburgh is shooting from the free throw line right now, and pair that up with a 21% free throw or 3-point percentage, you're going to have a bad time.
As the first free throw is sunk, as now Majors and Folger will be heading to the bench as McCord and Tarantino are back onto the floor. Some of the starters for Middlebury.
And Tarantino needs 4 points for his double-double. And looking at the stat sheet, Daly already has a double-double, 14 points, 11 assists, putting in work here for the Panthers.
That's a big number, 11 assists. You don't really see that too often in Division III college basketball with assists.
Yeah, the highest assist total here for Plattsburgh is number 2, Chris Middleton. He has 3 points to pair along with his 12 points. Or excuse me, 3 assists to pair along with his 12 points.
Now Bryant gets it to Brandon Johnson, who loses possession. A lot of quick passes by Plattsburgh as Isaiah Hill with the baseline shot, no good. Rebounded by Plattsburgh, and it is good for Brandon Johnson. That play started all by Jonathan Patron on the extra effort.
Yeah, that hustle play there by Johnson and Patron gets Johnson the rebound and the putback. That's what they haven't done in this game, is go that extra mile for those 2 points.
Here's the pass to Tarantino down low, and it is good over Jonathan Patron. If you're Middlebury, you might want to keep feeding Tarantino, see if Patron can pick up his 5th foul. As now here's Johnson, almost gets called for the travel. Was able to keep his right foot down as the shot is no good. Rebounded by St. Amour. Gets the pass over the top, and it is good by McCord.
The transition buckets right now are really setting apart Middlebury and Plattsburgh. A few times in a row where Middlebury has gone on transition as nobody stops the ball there, and that was a number 11, Matt St. Amour, getting right to the rim. Plattsburgh should never get beat in a transition play. It should never, in a transition game. It should never happen. Plattsburgh is always the quicker team. Middlebury's done a great job of in their game plan. As soon as the shot is up, is the 2 guards are streaking down floor to get those transition points.
As Isaiah Hill can't hit the 3, and Plattsburgh is not able to find any groove today as the floater is put up, no good. Rebounded by Patron. A rare miss by St. Amour as Eli Bryant puts it up, and he'll be fouled and be heading to the free throw line for 2. Plattsburgh down by 21 with 7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in the game, as Plattsburgh will be looking for a new look as they'll be bringing back in Jaquish and number 4, Nick DeAngelis, the freshman from West Milford, New Jersey.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen DeAngelis on the floor, so we'll see if he can be some instant offense, maybe put up some 3-point attempts and get a couple to fall. Going into this game, I'm sure Plattsburgh didn't quote-unquote expect to shock the world and take out Middlebury, but what you did expect is that they put up a fair fight, but right now they're just rolling over, and the effort right there isn't for the Cardinals.
Now their free throw percentage will continue to drop as Eli Bryant misses the free throw. As now here's Daly with a nice move. Definitely a good call by the official, as there'll be a travel against Daly.
Yeah, the 3-point percentage has dipped below 20, so now we're at 19% for 3-point percentage, and the free throw percentage right now is 37.5 for Plattsburgh, so some shooting woes here for the Cardinals.
As Plattsburgh might be subbing in Owen Mitchell, who's now sitting in the coach's chair, coming in, maybe he'll be coming in soon. He could also be some instant offense. Middlebury does not know how exactly he plays as the ref gets bumped into, as it looks like DeAngelis went sliding 10 feet after that contact.
Yeah, physical play there by both sides. It was a good job by DeAngelis to try to step in and try to be physical, try to push him away from the bucket because, right now he's one of the only players for the Cards doing that. And speak of the devil, Owen Mitchell has stepped in the game along with the Aussie, Tim Smith.
Bringing in all of the shooters right now. Now it's over the top, and that just bad defense by Plattsburgh as Tarantino will be heading to the free throw line for 2.
I mean, how does he get that wide open on an inbounds pass? A little bit of a miscommunication, and right now Jaquish is having a conversation with Brandon Johnson. Try to sort out what, someone must have said, switch, and they both stayed on the same person. That's how that happened.
Tarantino hits the first free throw, and like you mentioned before, he was a few points away. Now he just needs 1 point to get his double-double. As he misses it, it's tipped off the hands of McCord. These Plattsburgh fans seem to be getting a little bit restless as they know that this game is going to be hard to come back to.
Yeah, but the fans have kind of filled in the bleachers here for the Play for K game, that the promotion for the women's basketball team. More on that in the next game.
Here's Johnson who gets it to DeAngelis for 3, and he hits it. Maybe they should have subbed him in right in the beginning of this game. Plattsburgh has been looking for some threes.
Yeah, instant offense there, and that's what they need. Keep feeding him, keep feeding the hot hand, and get some stops here.
As the rebound is picked up by Owen Mitchell, who gets double-teamed and fouled, and that'll be sending him to the free throw line. As that looks like it'll be the 10th team foul on Middlebury, so it'll be 2 free throws from here on out.
And quite frankly, that's an awful foul there for Middlebury. I mean, you're so far away from the basket. All you need to do is just run the clock out, and you're going to foul a pretty decent free throw shooter. You're going to foul him, put him to the line, clock stop. They're getting points while the clock is stopped. It's just a bad play by the Panthers, which we haven't really said that much tonight.
Now Owen Mitchell hits his first free throw, as this might have been the look that Plattsburgh was going for, as none of their starters were able to hit free throws or hit threes. Now 2 bench players on back-to-back possessions hitting the 3 and potentially 2 for 2 from the free throw line. As the second, I spoke too soon. I jinxed you on that one. Sorry, Owen.
The broadcaster's curse.
I should just keep my mouth shut. I feel like I say this too much. Always jinxing the players. As the deep 3 is put up by Saint Amour, and he hits it again. Trying to hit Plattsburgh with the dagger with the 23-point lead with 6 minutes to go. As now Owen Mitchell for 3. No good. Rebounded by Brandon Johnson. Now Plattsburgh can look to reset things, but they want to have some quick possessions if they want any chance of coming back into this game. Down by 23. Tim Smith thought about the shot, decides better of it. Brandon Johnson to Jaquish. Kicks it to Tim Smith, and it goes off of his hands. He can't believe that one.
Yeah, there's just no flow to the Plattsburgh offense right now. They're trying to get something working, and you credit them for that. You credit Coach Crow for trying to make some changes and get something going, but sometimes it's just not your night, and that's what Plattsburgh is dealing with right now.
As the man with the best name in all of the SUNYX is on the floor, Majestic Grigg, getting his first action of the game. Like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he's such a tall player. Could have helped early on with some physical defense, some good blocks, as that one is put up, and it is good for Majors. Too strong with the left. Now here's DeAngelis, who will slow things down, getting it back to Tim Smith, who holds on to this one. Good no-look pass as it gets off the hands of Majestic Grigg, but there will be a foul against Middlebury as it will go on Majors, who cannot believe this call again.
That's going to be Majors' 3rd foul here in the game. It's going to be 10 fouls on Middlebury here, so that's going to put Plattsburgh to the free throw line for an automatic 2 shots. No more 1-for-1 opportunity as Majestic Grigg hits the first, and a substitute on the floor here for Middlebury. That's going to be number 10, Matt Folger, stepping back into the game.
just over 5 minutes remaining here in the second half as Grigg misses the second free throws. I don't think I've seen anyone on Plattsburgh go 2 for 2 from the line today.
Yeah, and if they have, it's a pretty rare occurrence.
Now Plattsburgh comes down on the other end and they get called with a foul. This one will be on Majestic Grigg, his first foul of the game. So now Majors will be shooting 2 free throws on this one as he hits the first. His free throws have not been a problem for Middlebury all day. They're shooting over 80% on the day.
And now Eisenman steps onto the floor for the Cardinals. He gets his first action in the game. Look for him to just start shooting away, firing away here. Try to get back in this game with 5 minutes remaining.
Both free throws are good for Majors. They have a chance to hit 100 with 5 minutes remaining. Only need 15 more points. As the floater is put up, no good. Rebounded by Majestic Grigg. Owen Mitchell thought about the three. As now Plattsburgh will look to slow things down as Eisenman puts up the three in the corner. No good. She wanted to help the team out with some instant offense on that one. This is a good pass over the top to Majors for the baseline shot. And it bounces off the rim about 6 times and finds its way in. As now Johnson will use the screen from both Mitchell and Grigg. DeAngelis wearing Ed Correa's number, wondering if he shoots as well as Correa does. It's the other 1 for 1 this game, as there's a good move by Johnson, but there will be a foul called before the shot against Middlebury. 4th foul against Jack Daly. Normally you might think that's a problem, but not in this game as Middlebury is up by 28 points. As Johnson hits his first free throw. Jack Daly will be going to the bench for the rest of the day as Perry De Lorenzo, the freshman from Middlebury, Vermont, the local kid. As again, Plattsburgh cannot go 2 of 2 from the line. Here's Majors at the top with under 4 minutes remaining. A lot of passing by Middlebury as it's a tough shot put up. No good. Rebounded by Grigg on the miss by Layden.
Yeah, one thing that's making me scratch my head right now is why Middlebury is still playing Santa Moore. He has 30 points in the game. But at this point, with 3 minutes 44 seconds left, they're up by a sizable advantage. Why keep playing your starters? Let your bench players into the game and get some reps. As I say that, Moore heads to the bench, and number 23 for the Panthers, Robbie Holly, checks into the game.
They just wanted to keep on scoring and rub it in Plattsburgh's face. It's definitely showing why they're the number 10 team in the nation as Owen Mitchell hits the deep 3.
And that play was all set up by DeAngelis. Good move, good swing through move, and then finding Owen Mitchell wide open at the top of the 3-point arc.
You really wonder where Owen Mitchell's 3-point shooting came from this season. I don't know if he's always had it, but maybe the playing time has boosted his confidence, but just had a fantastic season this season. Is definitely his best in his senior year. Three minutes left as DeAngelis puts up the 3. That one's no good as Majors comes up with the rebound. Here's De Lorenzo getting it across. Majors also on the floor still. Wondering if he'll be subbed out anytime soon. 12 left on the shot clock as the 3 is put up. No good as Middlebury comes up with their own rebound, as they could slow things down now and kill as much time off the clock as they want. As it's put up, no good, rebounded by Mitchell. Tim Smith thought about the shot, but he gets double teamed in the corner. Almost gets called for the travel right there, as now Majestic Grigg with the baseline shot. Rolls around the rim, and it is good.
Yeah, it's a nice step and shoot there by Majestic Grigg. Didn't think twice about it. Caught the ball, looked right at the rim, saw he had some space, and let it fly, and that's what Plattsburgh needs here.
Good pass down low to Majors, who puts it up, and he is fouled by Owen Mitchell. Mitchell trying to do too much on that play.
Yeah, I think Mitchell's kind of taking advantage of the fact that they're getting blown out in the game, and the refs kind of tend to hold their whistle there. The past 2 or 3 possessions, Mitchell's been a little bit too physical down low and basically begging for a foul call.
Now Mitchell will be heading to the bench with under 2 minutes remaining. As Jaquish is back on the floor, as the second free throw is also good, as Majors will find his way to a standing ovation on the bench. This one definitely seemed like it's all but over for Plattsburgh State. Another disappointing finish to this season, as they'll find themselves under 500 for the year overall record, as they're already under 500 in the SUNYACs. As the shot is put up, and it is good for Folger. DeAngelis for 3, as that one rolls in and out. It looked good. It was on the line. Just not getting any friendly rolls today for Plattsburgh. Here's Folger getting it back to his teammate, as that pass goes off the fingertips of number 23, Holly. DeAngelis puts up the tough running layup, and it is no good, but he'll be heading to the free throw line for 2.
So at the conclusion of this game, we're going to have the women's game. The women's teams are going to warm up, and then we're going to be right back here for a 7:30 tip-off for the women's Cardinals, also playing Middlebury, and they'll be playing in their Play for K game. You'll notice the pink shirts in the crowd and the pink warm-ups by the players. So stay tuned for that here on PSTV. More Cardinal basketball coming after the completion of this game, as Nick DeAngelis is at the line.
As he hits his second free throw. Finally, some free throws being hit by Plattsburgh. Definitely seems like it could be a little bit too late, as they're just shooting around 45% from the free throw line today, which has got to be one of the lows of the season, as Folger's mid-range shot is no good, but it's another offensive rebound for Middlebury, as the 3 is put up and not even close, rebounded by Majestic Grigg. Here's DeAngelis, puts up the tough layup, and he is swatted by Folger.
Yeah, the freshman will learn at some point that you can only do so much there. He's been taking a lot of shots here in this little part of the game that he's been in. He's been driving to the rim, which is good. You need aggressive play, but at some point you just kind of have to pass the ball out and reset.
Definitely wants to do everything that he can to get Plattsburgh some points, but everyone in this gym knows that it's over. But Owen Mitchell still trying, as he hits his second 3 of the game. Surprised that he's just been in these last 5 minutes of today's game.
Yeah, that's his 7th point here, and coming off the bench, that's a great output for him, as he only has 2 more games left in his career. That taking the fact that that the team doesn't make playoffs.
As that will do it for tonight's matchup between the Middlebury Panthers and the Plattsburgh State Cardinals, as Middlebury defeats Plattsburgh 91-70. Definitely a tough game for Plattsburgh, only down by 6 at the half, but Middlebury came out in the second, shooting the lights out. There was no chance for Plattsburgh.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're not making shots on one end, and on the other end, you're not playing hard-nosed physical defense and letting Middlebury get to any spot they want on the floor. So, Plattsburgh has to take this into account, that, this is a learning experience, and move on from here.
Don't forget to stay tuned for the women's matchup between the Plattsburgh State Cardinals and the Middlebury Panthers, with the tip-off starting off at 7:30. And that will do it for this edition of Plattsburgh Basketball. I'm Nick Demersion.
And I'm Tyler Clemens.
And that will do it.